Welcome to Chat with Kip podcast. I have a special guest today. Y'all know I want to start a home buying series. I feel like we want to reach out to some of those first time home buyers, some people looking to buy homes and want to go through the process. So my guest today is Auriel Norman. Great credit repair specialist, a lot of information. She's also my business partner. After I heard about the program, I wanted to join and get in myself. So further ado, here we go, Auriel Norman.
Hey, thanks, Skip. Yes, really excited to share with you guys some information about the credit repair process, even the home buying. So let's go.
Let's get you ready to get into
I'm
it.
ready.
Okay. Well, first thing you want to know, like, how does credit affect people who is trying to buy a house or even trying to move into an apartment?
Right. So credit plays a huge role and a huge factor in people that are trying to purchase a home or rent an apartment. People look at your credit worthiness. I always tell people your credit tells a story about you before you even enter the room. So we always want to make sure that that matches who you are. And if you're not responsible with your credit, they kind of wonder, are you going to be able to responsible to pay that loan back or be able to pay them the rent? So your credit is a huge factor in how people approve you for the home buying process or even to rent an apartment.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. I know people always ask me, like, Kip, what does my credit score need to be to purchase a property or purchase a house? Can you elaborate a little bit on the credit scores and how they
Yes.
get to those credit scores and what really is the best number to get at?
Right. It just depends on the lender or it depends sometimes on the person that you're renting from. But most people on the average, when it comes to renting or even a home buying, renters most usually want a 600 plus credit score. And just depends with the buying a home, what loan company you're going through or what lender you're using. And they usually require, maybe a 580 and up, but we always want to aim to get as high as possible, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
Your credit it's determined on a couple of different factors. So there's five factors that make up your credit score. So of course it's going to be like your payment history, utilization, how long you've had the line of credit open, having different types of credit, and also applying for new credit. So
Okay.
those are the factors that make up your credit score. But I mean, we always want to have your score as high as possible, to purchase or rent anything.
Okay. Say for instance, my credit score is I, f- I always hear like 600, 620 is probably that number you need to minimum number you need to have in order to purchase home. But say if I come in, I think I just purchased my house and my situation is a little bit different, and I think I was like right at like 699 or 698, and my lender's like, well, Kip, if you get to 700, it's gonna change your interest rate from 5% instead of 7%, which is a big difference in payment.
Right.
So, say if I'm on that borderline or somebody else is on that borderline of the number they're trying to get at, what are some key factors that you would recommend that they do?
Okay, so some key factors that you can kind of see a quick change with your credit score is going to be your utilization. So a lot of people, you have credit and yes, you want to use it, but you also want to be mindful of how much of that credit you're using because your utilization is 30% of your credit score.
Okay.
So for example, if you pay down your credit card before it reports, you can usually see a large, like maybe 20, 30 point increase just from paying that credit card down. So utilization is a quick and easy way to, kind of do some fast points increase on your credit score.
Okay.
And that, like you said, you may not think about a 2% difference is that much in a payment, but over the life of the loan, it saves you thousands of
Absolutely.
dollars.
When I calculated numbers, because I'm pretty good at numbers and math and finances, but when I looked at my numbers, like that 2% made, I think in a year, it probably would have saved me like close to $10,000.
Right,
Just
right.
in not saying I was buying a really really big house, but it was quite a big difference. I was like, man, I'd rather wait another 30 days, get my credit up in order to save 10 grand a month. I mean 10 grand a year.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a big huge difference. I want to tell people about the program a little bit and the process, because I do want my clients and people out there to purchase home. I feel like owning a home is one of the things that will create generational wealth for their
Absolutely.
families, and it'd be something you can pass on. It's one of the biggest purchases that we have in our life. So I want to talk to them about the credit repair program, and because I was involved in it and I'm still involved in it,
Right.
and I'm looking forward to getting my clients involved in it as well, because I know the first step in the home buying process is definitely
the credit.
having your credit together. So tell us a little bit about
Yeah.
the program and how it works.
Right. So the program is amazing. I've been with the program since 2018 myself, which is how I got started. I always tell people like lives, and sometimes we don't necessarily have control over some of the things that hinder us or that put us in certain situations. But myself, my credit was a 480 when I started with the program, and after 7 months, it went up to a 760.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so it's called United Wealth Education. And basically, people too have to understand credit is also a lot of it is education, like understanding what you should be doing with your credit, how to help, just being more financial savvy, making your payments on time, not maxing out your credit cards. So there were things that I thought I knew because because financial education or financial literacy wasn't taught to me in school. It wasn't something that I was familiar with. I knew I should pay my bills on time, but if you lose your job or things happen where you can't pay them, sometimes your credit suffers because of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So when I found out about this program, it was something I personally needed. So I started with it. And then, over time, just having the opportunity to be able to share and help people do the same because so many people need help with their credit, but they don't really know where to go or how to get started. And our program is very affordable. A lot of people can use it. We've helped hundreds of thousands of people with their credit. And I'm really looking forward and excited to be able to share and help a lot more people too.
absolutely. How much is the program, by the way, so the viewers will know?
Yeah, so to get started with the program, we do have two options, but you could be a customer for 188. That includes your first month and the startup fee, and then it's 89 monthly to continue with the service. There's no contract, but you get a lot of services, a lot of products with the service. So not only are we going to help you with your credit, we're going to teach you, the things that you need to know to continue to have good credit. You also have access to a will and trust, budgeting tools, Rocket Lawyer. You get 14 services that are included and that really can help you, not just have good credit, keep it, maintain it, and also get your finances in order
Oh
and
man,
get
that's
put together.
awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So typically, how long would people start seeing or kind of can take notice of their credit score changing once they enter into the program? Um, let's say, let's start off with, say their credit score is around 550, 500 range.
hmm
How long would it take them to get to like a 600, 650, 700 credit scores?
So, good question. So, a lot of people, credit just kind of varies, right? Because nobody's credit is the same. But on average, most people see results usually within 30 to 45 days. It's just a cycle of like where the bureaus are once we send the letters out, as far as removing the negative items. That's
Hmm.
one portion of it. But I also tell people, like I said, educating them, making sure you can make extra payments on your credit card to kind of boost your score while we're removing the negative items. So, there's kind of a couple factors that they can see results, but usually within 30 to 45 days.
Okay, okay. What's some of the most important things, or I guess, great advice that you give people who is questioning their credit, who's thinking like, hey, I should get in this program. What the things I need to do? What kind of advice would you give them to help them make a decision on whether they should wait a year to buy a house
hmm
or wait 6 months or get in the program now or wait till later? Or I
Yeah,
say always start now, right? You
always
always need good credit, not even for a house, but
for
for
anything.
anything that you purchase. So
Right. Whether you want to start a business, purchase a home, buy a car. I mean, there's all you always need good credit, right?
yeah.
So I always tell people get started because the hardest the hardest thing is taking that step and getting started. A lot of people are skeptical, they maybe they've been burned in the past by credit repair, which is what I love about our program. We've been in business for over 20 years, and it's more of like you can see what you're paying for. You have access to a portal so you can see your credit, how it's improving, what's there, kind of educate yourself on just things that you can continue to do to get better. So get started. That's really the, the best
Just get
advice I
started.
can give because it's
Okay.
very affordable and the longer you wait, the longer you'll have to wait to purchase at home because you're not ready. So even if it's something that you don't want to continue, you can always cancel, it's no contract, but hey, I'd rather have a 700 credit score than still be like, man, I wish I would
Absolutely.
have got started 3 months ago.
Absolutely. So listen, y'all better get started, right? You got to start the process in order to improve your credit scores and get you to buy a home, or whatever else you purchase, right? Interest rates can make a big difference because of your credit score. So that's very, very important. So we know that having good credit is important when purchasing a home. Also, I want you to tell us about the business opportunity. I feel like I'm an entrepreneur, right? And
Right.
most of my listeners are entrepreneurs as well, small business owners, and people who's looking to buy houses. So tell us about the business aspect of it, and because say some of these people credit scores might be where they want it to be at, right? They
Right.
might be 700, 750, 800s.
Hmm.
So tell us about the opportunity where you might as well make some money while fixing your credit and helping other people out.
I mean, and that's honestly how I got started doing it, right? So the second option, you could be a customer for 188 with a monthly payment of 89, or you could be a referral partner for 299. And I'll be honest, to me, it sounds like okay, $100 more, because if you're as a referral partner, when you refer five people, you don't pay a monthly fee, but you get paid for the referrals.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm a natural hustler. Like I like money. Who doesn't, right?
Right? Absolutely.
I said, you know what, that kind of sounds like a better deal. Let me just do that. But I honestly had no intention of working it as a business. My credit was bad, so
Okay.
got started, and I worked in the oil and gas industry for almost 10 years. What's crazy is a couple of months after I got started, I actually got laid off from my job, and so I said, okay, wait a minute, I paid for this. Like, what did I do? And I love people. I love always networking, meeting people. And what I found out is so many people need help or they're just not knowledgeable. They didn't know where to go. Just started talking to people, and I've helped over 1,000 people
Oh
like
wow.
with their
Okay.
credit and showing them a business opportunity that you can get paid weekly just for referring people to the service. So it's a really, really good option, especially if you have clients that need help or if you just know people. I even have people that necessarily don't have a business per se, but they're like, oh, I got some people I can send to you. Well, send them to me. Let me sign them up under you. Hey, make you a couple extra $100
Absolutely.
while getting your credit fixed. So,
Right. Right.
you can make it as small or as large as you want to. I personally was able to have a team of over 350 referral
Oh
partners.
wow. Okay.
And this provided me a great, not just an additional stream, but this was great money for me, especially as a single mom. I was able to purchase my first home in 2022, and not just a little home.
It's
It
kind
was
of
a
nice.
pretty good
Okay.
size
Okay.
home.
Good.
I mean, but
Good.
because I had, now the knowledge of how to put myself in a better situation credit wise, but also with my pockets, and so hey, anybody can do it.
Absolutely.
I like to think, well, yeah, I'm special, but I know people, and people with business that they trust, right?
Yeah.
So, and this company definitely allowed me to do that without having to like put it together myself. So,
Gotcha, absolutely.
hmm
And I like that you said you purchased your home in 22 and you got into the business as well because I figured if you know how to get that credit where it needs to be to purchase a home because you also you're a loan officer as well.
right,
So I think it goes hand in hand. And I
absolutely.
like the fact that you can help them get their credit together in order to purchase a home. So
hmm
let them know like how the credit goes hand in hand with the real estate and you can also help them fix their credit and help them
Purchase it.
qualify their loan as well. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So, like we said, having good credit is essential when the home buying process. The higher that your credit score is, the better interest rates you could get, but the more options you have for what loan do you want to use, right? So, um, you always want to give yourself the best option. If you have a lender that's going to offer you 2 or 3% versus five, you want to be able to have those options. So we definitely want to get you in position with your credit to help you have the options to use, get the right loan for your home, but to save you money and just something that you can have to pass down for generations. It's a really big investment and a really big purchase that you can do, but that, like you said, it creates a wealth of legacy for
Absolutely.
your family, for your kids, grandkids, and understanding credit, doing it myself, and then now having the option and to be able to help other people do it is something that I really love.
No, I definitely appreciate everything. So tell the people how they can reach you and get in contact with you and help them get their credit fixed or get it improved. And
Absolutely. So you can reach me. My cell is 832-926-3153. I'm also on Facebook at Auriel Nicole and Instagram. I am Ariel underscore Nicole, and Nicole's with the H. You can find me on there. DM me, message me. Let's talk. It's I don't we don't charge anything for consultations, but reach out. Let's have a conversation about what your goals are, what you're trying to achieve, and how can we help you do that through our program. The loan buying process, the home buying process, and I really look forward to helping you guys get on track and get where you need to be.
well, I just want to say thank you very much. You were super awesome, great information. Look forward to having you again. especially when we talk about more on the getting a loan
Hmm.
for the home purchase. But thanks again.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Look forward to having you.
Absolutely.
So y'all make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to Chat with Kip podcast. Get the great information from Auriel. And I like to tell y'all, man, knowledge is power. So remember that always. Like we talked about before, education is the key to success. So make sure you tune in to Chat with Kip podcast. And remember, knowledge is power. Thank you.